So what I'd like to share is that whole subject of having nothing but pure thoughts, pure feelings, and good wishes. And on the one side, when we sit for yoga and we send out our vibrations with Baba's light to the world, that's easy. Because, of course, we're God's children, so there's love, there's mercy, there's compassion for everyone. And so we can do that and we can share that. But the situation arises when it's my immediate neighbor. And neighbors sometimes tread on each other's toes and get into conflict. And so whether it's physically my neighbor, or whether it's countries that are adjoining and are neighbors, many different situations where with neighbors, there's a bit of hot air that comes in, a bit of friction that comes in. Or sometimes with families and friends, whichever family I'm born into, it's been a lot of karma with that family. And so a lot of things to settle. And so what's going on there? Maybe some trauma from the past, maybe some trauma at the present moment. So all of these things are part of the story of human souls through the cycle. But now at this moment is a time of settlement. And so things become even more intense so that things can get settled very fast. And at this point of intensity, God comes and says, you belong to me. I've been looking for you for a long time, and now I've found you. And so come and be my child, and I'll give you my full inheritance. And so it's a lovely invitation. And souls from the last kalpa remember it, and we come to Baba. And after coming to Baba, then we begin to discover our own sanskaras. And the sooner we realize that it's my sanskaras that have to get sorted out, the sooner I can become karmatit. Now that may take decades. And for some of us, including myself, it took decades to even recognize my own sanskars. And so to carry that on the self and say, well, with Baba, I am the one who has to sort out everything inside so that then I can truly have pure thoughts, good feelings, and pure wishes for all. Means that A, I accept that responsibility that it's me that has to get sorted out. B, I have to take such love, such power from Baba that I'm truly able to finish the past and then say, Baba, now I'm ready. I can be an instrument for you to use in whatever way it is you choose. And so in that acceptance of responsibility, what I have to do is to see, well, how can I truly become valuable once again? I know that Baba's reminding me I was Satu Pradhan, I was valuable, but through the cycle, I've forgotten. And now I've come to the stage where all the things that have happened to the soul in this immediate birth perhaps have left me traumatized, perhaps have given me a situation in which there's a lack of self-worth, a lack of self-esteem. And so Baba's task and my job for myself is to lift the soul up again. Baba's task through the Murli, through yoga power, through all the subtle love that Baba's offering me, Baba's trying to pull me up every single day through the Murli and of course through that subtle energy. But yet I hear the Murli, I believe it, and then through the day, this mind becomes too busy with all the little things of human activity. it's incredible how busy we get, whether it's thinking of a menu, buying all the ingredients, getting them together and doing all those things. And that's not such a complicated thing, but we make it very complicated sometimes. But also other things that might be a little bit more complex, but our overthinking also makes them more complex than they need to be. And so Baba told us today, it's all of these little things that you engage your mind and intellect with that keep you so occupied that you don't have time to check the quality of your thinking. And so I have to learn to take a pause. Traffic control is a good experiment. Take a pause every hour. And if you need to increase your time for traffic control, increase it. Nobody's going to complain. Instead of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, increase it. And truly, again, remind the self of the value of the self. And so where the soul has been pushed down by Kali Yuga, the soul has been pushed down by its own sanskars, and karmic accounts with others have pushed me down. Now, can I put a full stop to all those other thoughts and just recognize myself as a child of God? And in that awareness of being a child of God, let me be able to be uplifted by Baba and hold on to this stage of self-respect. If I can do this through my own realization, then yes, I will be able to have love and respect for all others around me, not blaming, not complaining, but sorting out things for myself. Because otherwise, every time I'm reacting to situations, instead of settling my karma, I'm actually increasing my karma. And so, can I be stable in soul consciousness? And instead of seeing things with these eyes, look at things from the vision of soul consciousness. And if I do that, I see things differently. There's a very different perspective on the same story. I see something that's going wrong, and I see that it's this person's mistake. How do I deal with it? Do I lash out? Why did you do this? You shouldn't have done this. Well, even if I didn't have any karma with that individual before, I've now created that karma. And so what I need to do is to be soul conscious and understand. Maybe that individual was under pressure. Maybe they were nervous. Maybe they've never done this before. Could be 1,000 different things. But can I see their pure heart and their pure intention of doing something for Baba, if that was what it was all about? And even if, yes, they didn't have pure thoughts and pure intentions, maybe they didn't, it's okay. Fire isn't going to work at this moment, but cooling water will work at this moment. So there's a whole book that's from Dadi Janki, and it's called Is There Another Way? And it's based on a program that took place many years ago in Global House. And Dadi was asked by 2 interviewers who were speaking with her in front of a live audience, Dadi, if someone gets angry, how would you deal with it? And Dadi's response, I have to quench that fire with water and be the fire brigade. I mustn't create a bigger fire by reaction. And so all sorts of scenarios of present times They were present then and they're present today also. But is there a different way to approach this? And can I maintain my pure spiritual feelings and thoughts of good wishes for everyone? And so it's a whole training to give myself. Baba's given me the tools, but what I have to do is to remember to use them and practice all of these things myself. And when I begin to practice all this, first day, a little bit of effort, second day, bit less effort, third day, and that's it. It's become natural. You do two things, you do something twice. By the third time you do it, it's now natural. That usually applies in most situations, but certainly with this. Who am I? I'm God's child. Who is this one? This one is God's child. What should my behavior be? Many different stories come to mind, but one last story. Dadi Ratan Moini spent about 15 months in London in the early days. So 71, Dr. Nirmala came and the center had started. And about 8 months later, she went on to Africa to do service there, and that was great. And there was a gap of a few months, and then Dadi Ratan Moini came. September 72, and she stayed through till December 73. She had never traveled alone. She had never stayed alone. And here she was, living on her own, at that time, 2 tiny little rooms in Tennyson Road, which wasn't such a brilliant area in those days. Now it's more upmarket, things have changed, but at that time it really was pretty rough. But staying there on her own, not a word of complaint, and managing everything from shopping to cooking to cleaning. And we would see her constantly smiling. And of course, it was a fantastic opportunity for us to take that very rich sustenance from somebody who was from the early days of the Yajna. And one of the things she shared was when she came to Baba, everything of the Lokik world dropped completely. She had come with her mother, so the two of them together. But really, everything of the past life finished immediately. And it was love for Baba. And she must have been about 12 at that time. And she said, the one thing that Baba made us practice so deeply all the time was soul consciousness. We didn't have the details of the cycle. We didn't even have the details of God. Yes, by the end of the 40s and early 50s, we knew God was Shiva, but we still didn't have that information that God is a point of light. Even that much wasn't clear. So what was the tapasya that they did? She told us that that tapasya was deep, deep realization of soul consciousness. Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? What is it that I really want? How am I going to get there? So these were the questions that they were constantly asking themselves and finding what were the genuine answers that lay within. But that period was such an incredibly powerful period that, of course, when they came out into the world again, after their isolation, they did that amazing service of finding the air quality souls, which then became dadis, the didis, and then also the dadas, many powerful Panda brothers. And so that power of tapasya that they had came from renunciation, not just of external things, but renunciation of the consciousness of the body. And that practice of absolute soul consciousness and going into the self, cleaning the mind, stopping waste thoughts, clearing the intellect. All of this was so incredibly powerful that they became the dadis who have served the world. And so today also, if I want to practice deep soul consciousness, let me do it. Let me see to what extent I can purify my feelings. No ill feelings for anyone. Am I able just to have pure thoughts all the time? Not let myself get distracted by anyone, anything, just pure thoughts, pure feelings. Can I forgive whoever it is I need to forgive so that I'm able again to let go of that burden and just simply have pure feelings and good wishes? Practice soul consciousness, practice forgiveness, and the third thing, put a full stop. Too many thoughts, and that creation isn't the highest and purest and cleanest, but checking every thought, a tiny amount of thoughts, a few pure, powerful thoughts, and a full stop. Whatever has happened, drama. Drama is benevolent, not just in words, but truly from my deep heart, my feeling, to know that every moment of the drama is benevolent. Then when something happens, genuinely I'll say, full stop. There's benevolence. I don't see it now, but I know it's there, and that's what it is for the future. So every Murli is homework for us to practice and experiment with. So today, Sunday, holiday, holy day, experiment with Baba's Murli and take all the blessings that Baba wants to give. Just fill your aprons with all those blessings. Om Shanti.